Don't believe it's fate. Hey, good morning, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How are ya? How's your mum? Good to see you. Welcome to the Forex.Today YouTube channel. Brought to you by Traders Way, a wonderful, friendly boutique foreign exchange trading firm that wants you to succeed, that believes education is the key to that success, and of course, many years of conservative, disciplined trading. Please visit tradersway.com. Open up a demo account. Give them an opportunity to earn your loyalty and respect. Download MT4. Play some trades. You'll find out. Fast execution speed, narrow spreads, amazing swaps, world-class customer service. Tradersway.com. Fall in love. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Ni hao ma. Nice to meet you. My name is Wayne. I got my cufflinks on for you. I don't know if you can see. This one says buy low. This one says sell high. Universal truths of trading. Very cool, huh? So I dressed up for you. How does it look, huh? Pretty good? Try my best. Think the beard's going to disappear today. Huh? Yeah, oil, I don't know what you mean by 11.50, but oil is way low, tickling $15. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Never, honestly, never in a million years did I think I would see that. Nope. Okay. Amazing. Just absolutely amazing. So we'll have to take a look at that. I also suggest, since it's Monday, we take a look at the calendar at Forex.Today. What do you stink? Smell like a plan? So we'll go through the news events. We'll look at the week. We'll look at risk on, risk off this week. Oh, is that right? Wow. Well, then that's amazing. I can't believe it. It's like, it's implausible. Yeah, Nim, I think we need to create a whole course on that. I don't think there's just a quick, easy answer to that. But anyways, without further ado, let's get going. Amazing. If it's like, I can't even believe 15. So if you guys are saying 11, it's impossible. It's implausible. Why didn't it switch to live screen? Muko, you'll need to email me. Oh, the one you signed up for. You should look at your emails. I don't know the URL off by heart, but you should check your welcome emails. All right, so something's going on here. My internet must be crazy slow. I'm hardwired to what's supposed to be 1,000 megabits per second, but everything is lagging here, so I don't know what's going on. Apex means the point of a triangle. Okay. Yeah, my pleasure, Muko. All right, so I don't know what's going on. Guess we don't have a calendar today. I don't know. My computer seems to be lagging a lot too, so I don't know what's going on. So I guess we'll just keep it simple. Also, last thing I wanted to say with the live trading group, I think today I do want to try 5 p.m. instead of 8 p.m. 8 p.m. is too ridiculous, and then it gets difficult for uploading. So I think I want to try 5. I have a scheduled negotiation at 5:30 is the issue. So maybe on Mondays we try at 5 and we'll bang it out. I'll just go. Like, I'll take the mic and I'll just go. So nothing complicated on Mondays. So I think I'll try for that today, okay? That way it's 5 every day. All right, so get on with it. Okay. Let's go to the 1 hour. And a whole lot of nothing. Okay, a whole lot of nothing. There's one time frame kind of doing this, and then another time frame kind of doing that. And then overall, there's the potential for a top. Just lots of gobbledygook. But one thing that's for sure is if you are a bear, this is a very, very interesting place to start looking for trade setups. Are you risk off? If you're risk off, then you should be playing it like this. If you're risk on, it's even easier. This is a lousy place to buy if you're a bull. You can certainly wait for something like this. Okay? But if you're a bear, you're in your zone now. And if you're a bear, you're also treating this like a range, not a trend. So you're not really paying attention to the 2155 cross. So you're just doing price action down, and then you okay? Okay. What about playing it after? But here's the problem. Because I see what you're doing. You're doing this, right? That's fine. But is that a bullish trend or a bearish trend? All right, so you actually answered it. Okay, you're a bull. But is it trending bullish? The problem is the highest, right? The problem is you're buying ultimately what is not a higher high, higher low. So a beautiful trend is buying like this. Okay? But what we actually have is this. Okay? And there's some risk there, right? Oh, red on rep. Okay, so all I'm saying is that if you're a bull, you have to recognize that you got massive resistance right here, protecting 69. So if you're okay with that, then you make the choice. Okay, so I would argue that in the moment, okay, which isn't forever, in the moment, I would treat it more range bound than up. And then, of course, in the future, if it does break to the upside, you know, you can always buy a dip that way. Right on, Anthony. That's good. Then we can buy if things drop enough. Yeah, oil it's just so amazing. All right, so anyways, Aussie yen. Let's look at pound dollar. Okay. Okay. How do you want to play this? Well, here's good resistance. We're at price support, but not market support. Okay. Let's go out a little further if we can. Okay. The analogy I made last night at the market open was I feel like we're shopping while we're hungry. And the danger to shopping while you're hungry is you'll buy anything. That's not our job, is it? So what is our job? Well, find the good trades. Okay. So I guess if you were a bull, okay, you're going to try to maybe play this area. It's already not perfect using pivot points. You know, we already breached below 25, which is kind of weird for a bull. So I don't know. It's like one of these things. It just seems very, very mediocre. That's how I felt last night. Just it feels like a trade would be forced. Unless you're a bear, then you got a little bit going on here. Okay? And even then, even on like a 5-minute chart, it's slow as molasses. And is that the pattern you grew up with? Is this in the training course? Okay. It's amazing, right? So you're like, this is where we opened. Neither here nor there. Then it kind of, and then it kind of wah. Okay, now it's on a buy pivot. So I don't know if this is what you want to trade, but if you're going to be a bear, I suppose it comes back up to 124.50 and then you take it back down. But that feels incredibly forced. But you could argue that this is a breach of support and this is a breach of a double bottom. So you catch the next pullback, midpoint psych level, 125.50. Sure, gotcha. Yeah, Daniel, I trade with my phone only if I already know the chart with my mind. I already know what I want to do, why I want to do it, the price I want to do it at, but I'm not at my computer. But like, let's say I'm walking around the house now and I know I want to sell around 124.50 and I'm waiting for some green candles and in a half an hour I check we're almost there. 45 minutes from now we're right on there. I take the shot and drop a stop. Come back and tidy it up a little bit later on the computer. That's how I do that. How low will oil slide? Okay. Anyway, so for oil exporting nations, Things are awkward. Okay, so we got that. We know oil's falling, so that's bad for the Canadians. So you're looking at, what, 143? Well, there's been a lot of things that are like, eh. So last night, 12 hours ago, a little more than 12 hours ago, I don't think we knew oil had collapsed that much. But even if you did, so you would have bought off here. But then what? It's barely 100 pips. I guess it's all right. So how do you trade that on a day trade then? You come in and you change this now to a bull. Okay. And up, 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 down, down. Right on the line, mama. Hot mama. Okay. Still a little difficult to call at the time, but I think if you see what's going on, you can get on the clue train. Okay. Yeah, it's a day trade. I mean, it's all right. It's a decent day trade. But the thing is, it's got to break out of all of this. Like, would you consider this resistance? Would you consider this resistance? And the answer, of course, is yes. Okay. So I can't call that an obvious uptrend. Look at, right? Look at the support zones, right? So nothing says easy. And I'm looking for low-hanging fruit. So tomorrow would be easier. Okay. So last night I was more neutral than anything. There was a couple of trades that looked like they might, but nothing else really looked obvious, which means even the ones that look like they might are pretty maybe 50-50. Okay. So Anthony, or not Anthony, Daniel, one of the things I did is I bought a dual boot tablet with a 4K screen. So it's a 10-inch screen, which is pretty big. 4K, so it's the same as like a giant screen. And it's dual boot, so half the time I'm playing Clash of Clans because I have an Android, but then I switch it to Windows 10, and now you can have a proper MT4 on there for trading on your tablet. That's another way of doing it. Yeah. Yeah, I would recommend like Chewy. They have the same screen as a Microsoft Surface tablet, which are $3,000, but for about $800 or even less, you can buy a Chewy. Same Microsoft screen, made in the same factory, but much cheaper. Well, Daniel, I think the lesson right now is and we did cover this last night too, where I think after the big move is now come and gone, there's a little bit of mourning. and a little bit of frustration that comes from the need to have to trade. And often when you feel that way, that's when you give away your hard-earned profits. Okay? So and what you're supposed to do is look at the market and say, do these conditions fit my needs? And last night and even now, like, some of these are not moving at all, right? And I think many traders will force a trade and lose money. But not only are they losing money, they're losing good money they made on obvious moves that were well planned and all that kind of stuff. And to give it back now because you're eager to trade versus eager to do the analysis, right? You get, it's almost like an addiction, I think. And I think we all do it. It's an addiction where you love pulling the trigger, you love watching it move, you love making money. It feels so good. So to not put yourself in a situation for that to happen, you have a negative emotional reaction. But that's really dangerous. So again, focus on, are these the market conditions you've been waiting for? Is this part of your plan you wrote down last week, a week before that, 3 weeks ago? Like, did you want to wait for this pair to go up to a double top so you can buy just below the double top? That was the plan? You're like, I want it to come down and then up and then down, and now I'm going to buy it because of the M2. You're like, well, trading is more than buying at the M2. That'll only work if it's clearly doing this. But I don't think it's clearly doing that. I think you're getting a bottom, and I think it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter at the top, and it's more of a wedge. And if things break out, sure, it'll move to the next level. But does it have to break out now? So what you're doing this week is, if you're just playing pivots, you're saying, well, I bet you we'll get through this resistance, get up to this area, and take profit just like a normal week. But what are the odds that it could also go up to resistance, come down, and head down to this level? So now you're really picking, is it going to go to this resistance or is it going to go to this resistance? And it seems to me we're right in the middle, and I think at best your odds are 50-50. Yeah, Ariel, we're not talking about a second screen. He's talking about walking around the house or walking around town, keeping an eye on the market. So I expect my, with China coming back online, I'm expecting my prototype pretty soon. But it'll look like this if I switch it back full screen. So I have a prototype coming. So here's my current trading rig. Okay, I like it. It's OLED screen, super high res. Cool. So that, which means I can. It's not a big computer, but I can. It's like a giant screen because the resolution's so high, right? Cool. So the prototype now. I'm going to mount onto the back of this a contraption that's probably this big. It's pretty thick, but since the PC is thin anyways, it's going to go on here, okay? Which means when I sit down at my desk, I'll pop it open, and let's see, I have to go farther back. So I'll sit down at Starbucks, let's say, I'll pop this open, then I'll slide out one screen this way, and then I'll slide out one screen that way. That's not even touching the desk, it's just sitting on the back of the string. So I go blup, blup, and now I have 3 screens on my laptop. And all I have to do is power them into a USB port. So they're just blip, blip. And then when I'm done, slide it, shut it, put it in the backpack, I'm out. Gotta jump, babe. So that was supposed to be here in early April. So production got shut down with COVID, and then the parts showed up finally, and they were crap, so they got sent back. Now the next one I'm going to get. So again, imagine this computer, okay? Beautiful OLED screen, huh? It's ridiculous. So anyways, imagine now instead of a keyboard, there is just another touch screen. No keyboard at all, no physical. So imagine now you take 2, let's say, iPads, and you make a laptop out of 2 iPads. Now, if you need a keyboard, you can touch it and the keyboard will come up, you know, a fake one. But most of the time, I just use a mouse. And if you're going to type a paper, I'd use a different machine. But so imagine this now that I'm going to do it's trading. I sit down at Starbucks. I open up my laptop. It's got a screen here. It's got a screen here. And now I just boot up, open up MT4, and I have 2 screens. And I just do everything from a mouse. Screen 1, screen 2. Or imagine now I'm on the road and I want to do a webinar with you guys. So up here, you're running MT4. Down here, you're running the YouTube and the OBS software. And there's the screen you're broadcasting, and here's the data, you know, the software to run the whole webinar. And then when you're done, so I'm going to get that as well. Isn't that neat? So you just have a laptop with 2 screens, because your laptop is just 2 screens. How neat, right? So one of my thoughts is maybe there's legal issues, but maybe I can do a contest or something and give it away now. Something like that. Well, Daniel, I went from 18 down to 5, so if anything, it'd be less. All right. So I think you see what I mean, guys. Like, I think this right now is maybe 50-50. And I want better odds. What if it was Russian roulette? You're like, 50-50? I'd like better odds than 50-50. Well, money is very similar. To me, anyways. Let's go through some PIVs. Yeah, that's right, David. So here's one of the things we looked at last night. And I'm like, okay, this is where we are. Okay. So we opened here. So this is where we were like 15 hours ago or whatever it was. We were right there. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to play this game. And I said to the group, I know you're eager to trade, and I kind of feel bad that I can't hand you something, but I don't see a clear path here, right? I see higher low. I see lower high. Right? I see stuck on the under, you know, stuck. So I'm like, I don't see the clear path. I don't see the easy money. Okay? So you could argue, well, I'm a bear. Okay, well, if you're a bear, then this is your sell zone and it's easy. Okay? Cool. But I think as a bear, you could, I don't know. Wait. Okay. Because imagine we were right here at the open. Okay? That is more likely than up, but up was likely too. So there was a little more downside chance than upside. But you'll have to, like, then when you look at euro yen, it looked more up than down. So the only real kind of trade plan we had last night is I said, well, if I was going to do anything, I would buy this. Well, KG, let's do something quickly here. Oops, that's not it. Okay, open data folder. That's the first step. And it opens this folder. Oops. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, what do you know? Well, inside your folders, you'll already have files. So when you open up templates, you'll notice that they're all TPL files. Template. So if I give you something with the TPL, if I say, hey, here's a cool template, you should install it, well, make sure you put your TPL files in the template folder. Okay? So that's one clue. The second clue is when you open up profiles, there's a bunch of folders. Okay? There's a bunch of folders. And if you click one, you'll notice that there are char files. So if you see something that, if I give you something that looks like a folder and it says pound yen on it, and you open it and there are char in there, then you're like, oh, those are charts inside of a profile. And the profiles I drag into the profiles folder. So right now, templates go into a template folder. Profiles go into a profile folder. And then you go to MQL4 and you put indicators like, I don't know, it might say biased pivots. Well, you would put those in the indicator folder, and they would be EX4 files. So indicators go into an indicator folder. Profiles go in a profile folder. Templates go into a template folder. Okay? Got it? Yeah, my pleasure. So the question is about the indices. Let's check something. Oh, I did it again. Let's check something here. Yeah, should work fine. So symbol X, yeah. Should work fine. Yeah, I don't think they work with EACN accounts. Maybe you're trying to stuff an MT4 file into an MT5 platform. That won't work either. Cool. All right. So Aussie yen we already did. Let's take a look at here. What's the trend? Oh, didn't mean to do that. Hello, Forex trader. How are ya? How's your mum? Okay. Hello, how low will I slide? So it's just kind of working its way up. You're actually on tomorrow's buy zone already. So you should be asking yourself, well, you might have actually been too late, would you buy it if it gets to 65? That reminded me of a Paul McCartney song. Would I buy at 65? Right. What do you think? Is it going to make it 65.50? No, there's only 30 pips left in this trade. Are you saying before the halving or after the halving? Illuminati. Well, then let's just state it that way. If it's a simple bearish flag, then no need to talk about huge drops, free money. You should say, hey, there's a bearish pattern. Ho hum. I think the world is filled with hyperbola. I think the older I get, the more I want to be like live on Walden's Pond and just right. The older I get, the more I want to be a Unabomber. Not bomb people, of course, but just like wear black hoodies and sunglasses and hang out in a log cabin and build like a nuclear fission plant in my spare time. Yeah, Max. Well, we'll see mine. So mine's designed by a group of guys from MIT. So I'm just kind of supporting the local Cambridge community, MIT people. Um, yeah, it's whatever. If they're going to build toys for traders and they're from MIT, I'm all for it. Cool. So maybe some up here, maybe some up there. So Kiwi's got some up, Euro's got some up. So are you going to do CAD up, or is that too dangerous? I mean, you got the price for CAD up if you're going to try it. Oops. Notice how someone asked about the apex. An apex is this part of a triangle. Okay. So if I'm trading a pattern like this and it breaks out in the middle, now this isn't an example of it, but it's probably going to be a fake out. Okay. But instead, if it's a proper thing, it'll go closer and closer and closer and closer, 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 snap. Okay. Or snap. Okay. But this is the exact buy price. Put it this way, guys. If you're doing a weekly swing, there is no other buy price. So you buy it, you put your stop here, and you're done. And that's it for the whole week. So I don't know if you want to be a bull. I don't know if you find this in like perfect bullish conditions. But if you were going to do it, okay, first of all, you'd wait or at least confirm other pairs are wanting to go north as well. Euro yen is trying. Kiwi yen is trying. Okay. Aussie yen is trying. But they're not beautiful conditions. So it just depends on how eager you are at this market open. Yeah, Jim's like, but I can't bring myself to, but that's fine. That's why there's always tomorrow, right? Yeah, and Pierre's like, well, oil prices could kill CAD unless oil bottoms out today. Okay? So you always need to think ahead. So it's one of these things like, for example, if you're a bear, you should assume a bull is going to try to buy it right there. Okay? So that it'd be like if I was to say this is the only price this week you could buy this, then every bear should know that that's the dumbest place you could possibly sell. Okay? Why are you so bold now and not bold up here, right? So anyways, you just know you can't sell there. So that's an opportunity for a bull. So a bull's going to try and maybe it does this. Cool. Right on. And then a bull would lose a little bit of money. They wouldn't lose a lot of money because they're not taking a big bet. They're entering at the perfect price and they're only risking this much. Okay, but they're going for up here. You see that? But it's like, yeah, I can see it. But you wait. If oil bottoms out, this will probably benefit. Okay? Now, pound is not trying to head up. But Euro has, Kiwi has, there's a little bit of Aussie going on. So whatever. Just, whatever. Whatever. Don't make a big thing. If you don't love it, don't trade it. That would be Friday, Raymond. Triple witching. Well, it's not triple witching but yeah, monthly contracts would end on Friday. Yep. Okay. So what do you think? Well, hour, 4 hour. Let's switch this. Hour and hour. Okay. So ideally, they're all going up or they're all going down. So let's kind of take a little bit closer of a look. Now that's dollar for some reason. But anyways. Okay. Do you see beautiful congruency amongst all these pairs? Little risk off, little risk on, little risk on, little risk off, and then this is dollar for some reason. So let's update this to Euro Swissy. How low? How low? Okay. And Euro Swissy is what? Neutral. So do you see a clear path, guys? So I'd say on this one, the arrow is kind of eh. Let's do a better color though. Okay. And then this looks like this. This looks like that. This kind of looks like this. And then this looks like this. Would you guys generally concur? And if this is the market do we have clear risk on or clear risk off? No. Not on Swissy. Yens are kind of eh or meh. So just be cautious, guys. Are you having a negative emotional response to or frustration with the market? I think it's best to recognize that you are. We want to be as open and transparent to ourselves as possible, right? So if I would like you to make a decision. If you are risk off, you're going to sell a move up on pound Swissy. Okay? I don't know if you want to sell double tops. I think you want to sell drops and rallies. So if you are risk off, you're going to wait for CAD Swissy to rally a little bit, and then you're going to sell it. Okay? I want you to pick a side and get a good trade or not trade at all. So you're looking for this, you're looking for this, and you're looking for this kind of thing, right? And this would be a double top. This is kind of bullish, so you'd stay away from the Asian currencies. Now, if you were a bull, you're more likely to go with the Asian currencies. Okay? So I want you to pick one or the other. One way or another, I'm going to trade ya. Okay? Okay? So cool. Play the smart game. So that's interesting if this is mispriced. I wonder why if their liquidity providers just don't want people to access it. I mean, even BTI, I mean, Brent is a $10 spread, which is even a high spread. But if this is 11, then what is Brent? So that's interesting. Nat gas. What do you think about nat gas? Gee whiz, some of these moves, huh? Well, I think we can agree that we've printed a floor. Which means if we break out of that zone, it could be interesting. But that would be Monday, not this week. I often use high yields as a barometer for risk on, risk off. We could take a look at these. Okay, that's not an exotic. Let's start here. Okay, risk off, risk on. Risk off, risk on. You couldn't design anything better than that, huh? Isn't it funny? So let's make sure we got time congruency here. Let's put them all on 4 hours. Okay. So this is definitely risk off. You can see we retested the 21. So if you're selling off exotics, you probably want to trade it like this. Okay. And you'll see you had a perfect entry today. But look at the noise, huh? But that was yesterday. So anyways. So you kick off the 4 hour 21, you regroup, and this is a buy zone for today. But even this is tough emotionally, right? So we'll see if it makes another higher high, a higher low. You'll be buying this tomorrow, probably at this price. In fact, you'll probably buy tomorrow around this price, around 695. So you'll probably do this tomorrow. Okay. Okay, what about this one? See? Very difficult right now. This is a sell zone. And if bears succeed here, then it creates a lower high after a higher low. And then we go, right? We go neutral. I lose my edge. What I want to see here, if this is risk off, we're going to bounce on this. We're going to kick down to here. And then we're going to be here sometime, probably by Wednesday. And that would be a risk off. And I'd be fine with that. It's just what it is. What I don't like is neither here nor there. Okay. Elp, anyone wanting to trade oil today because of a drop like this? Most likely they have no idea what they're doing. They're buying it because it's low. First of all, you don't buy something because it's losing value. You buy something because it's gaining value. That's the first knowledge, right? How many people would agree with that? You buy something because it's gaining value, not losing value. Now, the other thought process is if you buy something and you don't realize there's an 8% daily fee. Let me put it this way. I guess it's a little less than 8 because I think now you need $1,500 for a contract. Is that right? It used to be $1,000, but I think you need $1,500 margin. Every single day you hold it, you are charged $80 if you're long. Every day. So after 10 days, it's $800. If you hold it for a month, right? Now you're into $3,000 just to get to break even, which is the equivalent of 300 pips. So now you've held it for a month, and if you haven't made 300 pips, if you're going to translate it to pips, then you're not even at break even yet. So for someone to jump in and say, hey, should I buy oil? It's really cheap. Most likely you have no idea what you're doing. So the answer is no. Okay? Thank you, Alp. So imagine you go to Wheeling, West Virginia, and you buy a giant container of oil. That's the shadow. Okay? And there's 1 million gallons of oil in there. Okay? So you have to pay for the oil, right? And what you're doing is you're saying, okay, you paid $11 a barrel. So there's 600,000 barrels of oil in there. Cool. And what are you doing? Well, you're waiting for oil prices to go from 11 to 40, right? To 41. So you can triple your money. Cool. But you're going to have to pay rent on this giant oil facility, this storage facility. Okay? And it might be $10,000 a day. You got it? And since there's such a shortage, they might gouge you and say, I'm sorry, it's $30,000 a day. You don't like it? Move your oil. We'll have someone else put their oil in here. Why don't you rent a ship? Suck it out of here. By the way, that's going to cost you $300,000. Suck it out of here and put it onto a ship. Now you have to pay for the ship every day. So these are called carrying charges. And it's the same thing with oil. So if you're just going to go in, drop $1,500 on a bet that oil's going to go up, just remember your fees are doubling your cost every month. Okay? Now, let's try to reverse this. Let's say you believe oil's going to go up. You want to make a long-term play, but you don't want to hold oil because of the carrying charge. Can Forex offer a better way? And I say, oh, faux show! It's one of the benefits of Forex. So, how about something that correlates with oil? Well, you can do something like, well, you don't want to play against the US dollar because it's got its own problems. So let's say you could go CAD Swissy long. CAD yen long. If you are in Europe, you might want to go Noki yen long, for example, or something similar. Okay? So anyways, let's take a look at this. First of all, let me confirm. WTI. Okay? It's going to cost you 7.6% a day. So I said 8. So if you're doing a standard contract, okay, $80 a day, $76 a day. Every day. If you make money, F you, $76. If you lose money, F you, $76 comes out of your account and covers the carrying charge. Okay? But you're like, but I want to hold it long. Okay, fine. So let's do something that's highly correlated. CAD and yen, well, when there's risk on, which you would need for oil prices to go up, yen weakens. And of course, Canada sells oil, lots of oil. They benefit from high prices. So if oil prices go up, most likely the Canadian dollar is going to go up relatively the same. To say it differently, it has a high positive correlation. Okay? So we go to CAD yen and compare. So we lose 7.6 a day on oil proper. What if we were long CAD yen? 1.2 We make money every day. Instead of losing money every day, we make 1% a day. Or it's basically a pip a day. It's not a lot, right? But, okay, you notice that instead of being guaranteed to lose money every single day, you're going to actually make money every single day. Not a lot, but that's way better than losing. So now if the correlation is highly positive, then you'll get the benefits of oil appreciation. So this asset that's correlated to oil, your Canadian dollar, would go up, and you'd benefit just like oil going up. But your carrying costs go away, and in fact, Canada is willing to pay you for the investment. You see the difference? Help? Well, John, yeah, if you have a non-swap account because you're Muslim and it's required for Sharia law, then I don't know how they do that. There would be a fee somewhere, but you wouldn't earn interest. Most likely, you'd simply pay fees. Yeah, there'd be a commission somewhere, but Sharia law doesn't like the idea of rent or usury. It's very specific. So I don't know if it's actually in the Quran, but I know it's in the Hadith. I read several Hadith where Muhammad had very specifically said that charging money for money was wrong. Yeah. Rent is okay, but charging money for money is wrong. Yeah, but that changes over time, though, too, Michael. There's a difference between in the Western world. There's a difference between usury and interest. So usury is more like it has to do with like loan sharks, right? Where I give you $1,000 and you owe me 10% a day, right? And which means as you pay me, you're collecting the interest is so high is like you never actually pay it back. So by the time it's done, you've paid me like $10,000 and you still owe me money, and the interest is going faster, right? And so it's more like loan sharking. And I think so when I studied the Quran and the Hadith, and we were looking at like parts of Saudi Arabia at the time of Muhammad, what town is? He wasn't from Mecca. He was from another city nearby. But you have to understand the period in history. These were very rough places. These were very rough and tumble places where you had like loan sharks and gambling and prostitution and alcoholism and right, very much different. And so Muhammad looked at these things as being just bad for society, right? There's Medina, thank you. And there was lots of worship of false idols, and in his mind, so like golden oxes and stuff were being worshipped. And so he came in and basically showed people how these things were not, let's say, a healthy lifestyle, not a way to God. It's not God's way, right? So anyways, did I have backwards? I'm not Muslim, so I'm not an expert, but anyway, so there were a lot of lessons, right? Not eating pork. Well, the pork was filled with worms and stuff. So it's just a very interesting time where he came in and he offered a sort of a better, cleaner, healthier life than what had existed in these times, and that's where usury and the charge of interest came from. Now, again, I'm not Muslim. I'm not a scholar. And if I don't mean to insult anyone, but it seems to me that at the time, interest and usury were the same thing. If he was here today, Muhammad might say, well, okay, you're using someone else's capital to grow your own capital, and that's a good thing, and they should be compensated for the risk that they take. Maybe. That's not for me to say, right? So you have scholars that make that determination. But definitely the idea of sort of overcharging somebody is absolutely wrong, I think, morally in everyone's culture, right? So I think there's a lot of overlap between cultures and religions and stuff, right? Was that right, Javier? Okay, so anyways, I'm not a Muslim, I'm not an expert, but, I have read part of the Quran, I have read several hadith, and studied some, actually mostly finance and law. So I studied, how divorces take place and how, so I did a presentation on bonds, for example, raising money through in Islamic bonds, I guess is what you'd call them, right? So anyways, very, very interesting stuff. So I know enough to know I'm probably wrong, but I tried. Anthony, don't dig on swine. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I think an educated person would try to study a little of this and a little of that. Yeah. So I forget the details of my presentation, but I did study the issuance of Islamic bonds. You're studying Islamic finance, Javier? I think I have my textbook right here. I just saw it. I just saw my textbook recently. I can't see it now, though. But it's very interesting to study money in different cultures. Well, it's more than sukuk, but because what you're talking about is sort of your annual tax. But you studied sukuk bonds? Okay, yeah. All right, cool. So anyways, oil is still coming down hard. Brent's coming down hard. CAD is stabilizing. Nat gas stabilizing. So anyways, pay attention. Yeah, I think if I retired, I would go back to Harvard and do a PhD in economics, and then write a thesis on something to do with studying the entire history of money. I'd study that for 10 years and write a book. I love the history part of everything, really. Yeah, going nowhere. Let's see if it rolls over here. Hey, Nigeria. Beautiful oil. Carlos? No. It's beautiful oil. Nigerian oil, beautiful. So, like, again, one of the things we are looking for is a pattern here. And we know the pattern, if you're a bear, is this is your sell. Okay? And this is your target. But it's not falling, right? This is Aussie dollar, by the way. And if you're a bull, you'd want to buy it down here at 63, but it ain't moving. Like, it's not doing anything. So it's all very, I suppose, dangerous, right? Well, to be honest with you guys, so like some of you are like, how come oil prices are not the same across the board? Well, first of all, it's not actually oil, right? It's some sort of derivative. So how do they create this product that we see on our screen as oil? You're not buying oil. You're not physically buying oil. It's not an oil futures contract, right? So how do they actually derive it? Remember, a derivative is some asset that is priced based on another asset. So it's based on the price of oil, and most of the time it's chugging along with. But if there's a liquidity issue, for example, in the market for this derivative product, then the prices are not going to line up, right? And so I've never really understood how they do it. I never inquired either. It didn't really matter. Got enough going on. But so if there's a difference in prices amongst brokers, for example, so let me go back. I'll pull up Trader's Way Brent or Trader's Way WTI. It says 1550 and someone else says, oh my God, it says 21. Why are they so different? Well, Trader's Way is closer to the real price. There's one thing. But the second thing is it'll have to do with their liquidity partners. Okay? Well, Jordan, this is not a CFD. I don't believe this is a CFD. Okay? That would be a futures contract. I think it's a product that is designed to mimic a CFD. Okay? But whatever. So all I can tell you is if you're a bear, it opened at exactly your sell zone. That's that. Okay? And tomorrow, based on this chart, you would look for something like that. Okay? So this is a sell. 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 And tomorrow, this will be a sell. Okay? Okay? And for those that are planning on buying oil because it's cheap, you have to realize that you're betting. It's a total gamble. So if you bought it low, the problem is I will need a clear change in direction before I'm really interested in buying. I don't like betting it can't fall further. Okay? Let me say it in a way you might remember, because there might be a lot of new people here. I don't like picking bottoms because that strategy stinks. Now think about it for a second. Why does picking bottoms stink as a strategy? Well, maybe you can figure it out. Okay, so this would be pretty aggressive. And you would have to look at this. Oops, I did the wrong one. Bullish. Okay. For example, I'm not interested in buying this. Well, let me step back. This is a bullish chart. It's for bulls. This is how a bull would analyze the market. In fact, it's saying tomorrow I might want to buy between 1655 and 1551. It's already telling me tomorrow's buy zone. Cool. Now, indicators are dumb. But we are smart. We're sentient as well. Okay? So I need to see a trend that looks like this before I'm even interested in buying. How many times have you heard me say this in the last 24 hours? If you're a bull, you must wait and confirm market conditions. I have no problem with you being a bull. And you're like, Wayne, but it dropped to 11. Oh, it can't drop any farther. Well, that's fine. That's cool. But how do you trade properly? You wait until there is a trend favorable to your bias. So back here I might have been a bull, but this is not a buy. Here I might have been a bull. This is not a buy. Over here I might have been a bull. This is not a buy. Over here I might have been a bull. This is not a buy. They are buy zones, yes. But the trend is not bullish. Therefore, that supersedes everything. I'm not in a bullish market. I'm not in a bullish trend. So I stand down. Okay? And then tomorrow, I'm still not going to buy this. I can't even think of buying oil until Wednesday. Do you understand that? So I don't care what price oil is. If I'm a bull, I have to wait. Okay? If you're a bear, fire for effect. Sell, 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 and then tomorrow sell. And eventually you're going to be wrong on one of these because it will recover. So it will do something like this. Maybe even today, maybe tomorrow. And you'll say, well, see, Wayne, I told you it was going to go up. I'm like, I didn't say it wasn't going to go up. I said I wasn't going to buy it. Because at the very least, I need then a down and then a new up again. Okay? Yeah, we talked about contango last week. So anyways, make sure you're a trader or investor and not a degenerate gambler? No, because I got analysis behind it, Daniel. Your win rate is irrelevant. Okay? In fact, guys, your win rate is dangerous. If you develop an emotional attachment to being right, then you will not take losses because you're emotionally attached to your winning percentage. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Because you can say, hey, look, I didn't make any money for you, Mr. Client or Mrs. Client. I didn't make any money, but I was right 98% of the time. Yeah, who cares? Okay? What you want to show a wealthy individual that you're asking for money. You're like, hey, wealthy individual, will you please invest some money into my fund? They want to know that you are not going to take risks and jeopardize their money. Winning percentage doesn't tell you that. Or let's say a high winning percentage doesn't tell you that. All it says to someone is, you don't lose, therefore you don't lose. You got your priorities mixed up. What you want to show someone is you lose often and you adjust very quickly. And the dollar amount, the percentage-wise, is tiny, minuscule. But your winners are large. Now, someone worried about their winning percentage often has very small winners because as soon as they have a winner, they got to lock it in. And it's usually people like jam +1 and they're like, boom, I got a +1. That's a winner. Dude, that's a loser. It's a loser. If you lock in 8 pips and call it a winner, you're mentally backwards. You don't get it. You're not supposed to brag about winning percentage. You're supposed to brag about low volatility, right? Right? And consistent wins. So again, you should have lots of little losers because you're not always right and things do change. And you let your winners run. This is what you need to be doing. If you deviate from that, you're not doing it right. That's all it is. If you start going after a high winning percentage, you're not doing it right. You're not even thinking about it properly. You have the wrong concerns. Okay? So, with the 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio, which means your winners are small, your losers are small, but your winners are big. Your winners are 3 times bigger than your losers. And you have lots of little losers. Not a tremendous, but you have them. Often. Well, if you lose 66% of the time, you still haven't lost money. You're at break even. Which is probably about the same that someone has 95% winners. Their winners are small and their losers are big. Well, your losers are small and your winners are big. Okay? Now you change it a little bit. If you're a trader with small losers and big winners, if half the time your trades are losers and the other half the time they're winners, you're profitable. And over time, over years, I bet you anything. Well, I won't bet you anything. I am 100% convinced that you will improve to being better than 50% wrong, 50% right. Okay? I'm 100% convinced. If you trade properly for years and really focus on your mastering your skills and your art, that you will be better than a 50-50 trader. But even if the 50-50 trader with a proper win-reward ratio is already profitable, you'll just become more profitable. And you'll still have lots of little losers. But you might have 30% losers, 70% winners, and you're achieving all your goals in life. Financially, anyways. Okay? But the guy going after 95% winners won't make it. And even if you did make it and you showed that to a sophisticated investor, they would laugh you out of the room. Oh my God, what an amateur. Okay? Oh my God, what an amateur. He's worried about his personal win-reward ratio, but he's not worried about making me money and managing my risk. Goodbye. Trust me, find someone that's promoting 95% win ratio. Check it out. Most of their wins are tiny, and they're going to have 400 pip losses every once in a while. Trust me, check it out. And they'll also do it on a micro account. They're like, I grew this $300 account into a $600 account. Uh-huh. Oh, with degenerate gambling and giant lot sizes relative to your account size. And you're like, dude, amateur hour. Never. All right. So anyways, there's the Bitcoin stuck in the middle there. Yeah, we're not quite freeing up yet, and that's the really sad part. So this is where we were like 15 hours ago. There was a lot of like, not quite ready yet. So I think we're just going to have to regroup. So everyone in my live trading group, I know the schedule says 8 p.m. today, but I'm going to try moving Mondays to 5 p.m. as well. So that Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, we always meet at 5 p.m. And so I'm going to try it because putting it between my two Harvard classes is really tricky. I'm guaranteed to be late for one of my classes, which is difficult. And then I have to upload the video after class, and I get to go to bed at midnight. It's really difficult. So let's try it this time. I have a big negotiation I have to do at 5:30 in my negotiation class, right? I got my notes here. Yeah, I got serious notes because I'm a baller. I'm going to win. But anyways, so I got to bang that out. So we can meet at 5:29. I pull the trigger. Yeah, I'm sure we could do it. I know I go on for 2 hours sometimes, or often, because I'm trying to give you 100%. In this case, I have to get you 100% in like 30 minutes or less. But Maida will keep me. She'll keep me in check. Right? Keep me in check, Maida. So anyway, so I'll see you guys at 5 p.m. I'll send out an email, and hopefully this works, because I think 5 p.m. every day is best, I think, for everybody. So, and of course, getting the recording up on time is important, right? Yeah. And then I think I'm going to go take a nap. Even though I got up at 7, it's 9:30, and I'm going to go take a nap. All right, so peace on earth. May the pips be with you. Oh, let's go full web. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Thank you very much for everything. Thank you for subscribing. Please like. Half of the people watching right now have not even clicked the thumbs up button. Would you please do that for me? Will you please tell YouTube that this is quality content? That's all I'm asking for. It doesn't make me money or anything. Just tell YouTube that this is quality content. That's all I'm asking for. Okay? Am I in the UK? No, I'm in America. America! Okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you again. Stay healthy, stay safe, huh?